Now please remember, the yoga which is being practiced worldwide nowadays, the body related activity, sitting in a particular position and doing all those kinds of things, exercises of the body and all that, it is hatha yoga. This is a part of Tantra. Part of Tantra. Please understand this. People also come up with something called Kundalini Yoga. It is like telling that, okay, we discovered a new thing in this world called physics. So now physics has branched into so many subjects. Same way mathematics, it has gone into so many streams. You can call it whatever you want to. At the end of the day, it is science. So we are doing chapter 6, verse 40. Shri Bhagavan said, Arjuna, there is no fall for him either here or hereafter. For, O my beloved, none who strive for self-redemption, that is God realization, ever meet with evil destiny. Let us say you have a local MLA, that is member of the Legislative Assembly, or you have a local senator. Now, when you have a local elected representative, now you were very much with him. You were supporting his campaign and so on and so forth. Now the elections are over. There is a governor, there is a president elected. There is some minister has become a prime minister. Now, this individual who was very much in favor of this particular senator or this particular MLA suddenly starts taking up assignments or doing things for the prime minister or the governor or president or whoever concerned. Does it mean that he has lost favor with this person? That is the local MLA? No, it has not. Now the local MLA is also favoring the central head, whoever it might be, the president or prime minister or whoever. Why is he doing that? Because maybe he wants to be a minister. Maybe he wants to take up some big position. So he is also trying to pander to the super boss. Now here in this case, Sri Krishna is saying, now you were earlier focusing on some local deity. That is, all these deities that are there, all the local deities that are there, you were favoring them. So you may go to the local temples nearby, like say for example, the Kartik Swami temple, the Anjaneya temple, or the Vishnu temple, or whichever, whatever. So suppose you are going for all those temples, and suddenly you have shifted your sides and now you have started coming to my temple. So now you are saying Krishna is the greatest, because after coming to know who I am, you normally feel, Krishna is far greater than anybody. So this person has now shifted his entire focus from this local deity to Sri Krishna, who is the super boss of all these things. Now when that happens, that person is not able to achieve Sri Krishna and is not able to even focus onto the local deity. So Sri Krishna says, at such times, it doesn't mean that he has lost anything. See, I am the boss, okay? If I am the boss, then why should you bother? Because I can tell the local deity, don't bother him, don't do anything to him. Isn't that true? The prime minister or the president or the super boss over there can tell the local guy, the local senator or the MLA or MP or whoever, see, this is my man, okay? Don't trouble him. Can this be said? So if there is any heaven to be granted or anything to be granted, it can be given. It's not that it cannot be given. So here Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, Arjuna, there is no fall for him here or hereafter. That means just now also, when you are focusing on me, okay, and after death, you may be, after death, you may die a few months, years, whatever, later. So when you die, you are not going to lose anything. For those who strive for self-realization, that means any person who is actually trying for God realization, the urge, the intensity of the urge that is there in that person to go for self-realization, that means he wants to attain the highest. Any person who wants to meet this criteria, that I want to be focused on realization, or I want to be focused on Sri Krishna, something like that, then he doesn't meet with an evil destiny. So he doesn't fall down as such, okay? So now let us see what the next verse says. We are doing chapter 6, Bhagavad Gita, verse 41. Such a person who has strayed from yoga obtains the higher worlds, that is the heavens, to which the men of meritorious deeds alone are entitled, and having resided there for innumerable years, takes birth of pious and prosperous parents. Alright, so here Sri Krishna is just telling Arjuna, don't worry, I naturally am not going to do anything to him. So what will happen to this person is, this individual who has fallen down on the yoga. Now remember, what yoga are we talking about over here? Jnana Yoga, and that is Sankhya Yoga, and the second one is Karma Yoga. So he might have stopped doing those activities connected with the Jnana Yoga. Okay? What is the activity connected with Jnana Yoga? To follow the scriptures, to do the puja part, those kind of things, to do temple visits, all kinds of things that are associated with the path of knowledge, to by heart those scriptures and all that kind of things. So any person who has stopped doing those things, because now he is following the path of devotion, so whichever path that is there, in this he says strayed from yoga. In this he is only talking of two. Okay, one is Jnana Yoga, that is Sankhya Yoga, and the second one is Karma Yoga. Now in this world today, people have come up with their concocted versions of yoga. Every person says that there is this yoga, that yoga, that yoga. Everything they call it yoga only. Actually the term yoga means union with God. Union with God. There are lots of people who don't want to say the word God. So they say just the union, that's it. It is not the truth. Union with God means God realization. Are we not going for God realization? So it is union with God. Now when you are doing hatha yoga is one of the yogas, kriya yoga, or any other form of yoga which they are thinking of, tantra also and all those things. Now please remember, the yoga which is being practiced worldwide nowadays, the body related activity, sitting in a particular position and doing all those kinds of things, exercises of the body and all that, it is hatha yoga. This is a part of Tantra. Please understand this. People also come up with something called Kundalini Yoga. It is like telling that, okay, we discovered a new thing in this world called physics. So now physics has branched into so many subjects. Same way mathematics, it has gone into so many streams. You can call it whatever you want to. At the end of the day, it is science. So the main criteria is Whether you do Kundalini Yoga, whether you do Hatha Yoga, whether you do Tantra Yoga, whatever that you want to do, it's a part and parcel of activity. Can you understand activity? That means you are sitting in a position, you are breathing in a particular way, right? You are doing those body exercises, movement, this, that and all that. It's nothing but a part of the activity, which means action orientation. Action yoga is what? Karma yoga. Now, there was another person who came up with, okay, this individual came up with his own names. And he said, we will call this Raj Yoga. Because he became so famous in the world, so he started saying, I am practicing Raj Yoga. There are only 3 yogas, sir. One is Jnana, second one is Karma, and the third one is called devotional path, which is Bhakti Marga. Now you can keep on branching and branching and branching and saying whatever you feel like. So now, what Sri Krishna is saying over here is, Bhakti Marg is on one side totally, one side. Rest all the yogas that we are talking about, which are called by different names, are on the other side. Now you may give up all those yogas. Some people have this habit of saying, Guruji, I am doing yoga. Okay, that yoga also you can check it down the whatever, dustbin or whatever. Doesn't matter. Sri Krishna says that anybody who follows the Bhakti Marg, love and devotion to me, and gives up that other yoga, for that person, strayed from this yoga, strayed means gone away, obtains the higher worlds. It is not that because he is not doing that he will not obtain. By doing Bhakti Marg also he can obtain whichever world he wants to. That is whichever heaven that he wishes to which men of meritorious deeds. Who are the men of meritorious deeds? So there are people who have attained yogic perfection in whichever field concerned. Alright? So what are the fields? Just now only I said, some people are Tantra Yogi. They might have attained perfection from Tantra Yoga. Somebody has done it through Hatha Yoga. Somebody has done it through some other method. It doesn't really matter. So those people who have attained this higher state, which is, I have got there. So they attain to these heavens. Alright? They are attaining a certain heaven. So you, the one who is doing the Bhakti Marg, also gets that same criteria of going to the same heaven. Alright? So let us say you are doing Hatha Yoga, going to some teacher and doing Hatha Yoga. Or you are following some guru and doing some kind of activity, Kriya Yoga or some yoga of any sort. For those people, they have given that up and now they have come to my path of Krishna's path, which is called love and devotional path, Bhakti Marg. And there you might have only passed second standard or third standard or fourth standard, fourth grade, fifth grade, something like that. You might not even have completed your graduation in that place. Doesn't matter. The moment you come to my path of Bhakti Marg, you get the heaven connected with that. Wherever you are given up, that heaven is yours for taking. Because I am the super boss, Talaiva. I am super boss. You can't tell me that I will not give you this and that. I am the super boss of everything. So if I am the super boss, I can just say, okay, give him this heaven. Anybody can have any objection? No objection. So here he says, the men of meritorious deed alone are entitled. Only those people alone are entitled. So that also. And now what happens to this person? Now let us see what happens to this individual who is now on the Bhakti mark. Now, just example. It's an example, just take it in that form only. Example. Let us say this person has done 8 years. 8 whole years of yoga, which is hatha yoga. He's gone and learnt all those exercises, sitting in that position, doing whatever he wants to. 8 years of that yoga. And now for 2 years only, he has come to the path of Bhakti Marg. And he says, Krishna, 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 Krishna. 2 years only. There 8 years, these 2 years. Now, in that world, he could have put in those 2 years and got the highest heaven. The criteria is this. They alone are entitled who finish that thing over there. So if you are doing hatha yoga, you have to finish everything, then only you are entitled. Whatever the education that you have to do, you should finish that thing. You should attain the path of samadhi also. Then only you will attain some heaven. So he says, that thing which you have to really work yourself to that point, here by staying with me for 2 years, you will get that also, that heaven also. So if you want that heaven of hatha yogis, I will send you. You want to go there? Enjoy yourself. It's a 5-star hotel, boss. All heavens are 5-star hotels, or should I call it 7-star hotels? If there are more stars, give it. So it is like all these heavens are like these 7-star hotels. You get nice food over there, good beds to sleep. Everything is so perfect. All those, people who come and clean your room and all that. Everything is so beautiful. Yeah, during the day you have to go and work with that person who runs that place. Okay, that's a different thing. You are like an apprentice over there. That's a different story. But you have got a good place to stay. You got a good place to enjoy. All the flowery things and fruits and this and that. Animals, blah blah blah. Everything is there. Heaven is like a beautiful place. Yes, damsels also, if you want. You will say, oh, the girls are not there. Of course they are there. Women will say, but how can I think of that? Don't worry, we'll have some Hrithik Roshans also over there. It's a joke, okay? So, everything is perfect over there, supposedly. But resided there for innumerable years. Think what he's saying over here. It is like a pass which is dated. The visa is dated from this day to this day, from this year to this year. It is called merit. You have accumulated merit. That merit is what you are entitled for. So heavens are not a permanent location. Heavens are destroyed. Okay? At the end of the pralaya, all the heavens get destroyed. So this particular heaven that you feel that you have to go to, connected to some deity that you can think of, you can enjoy that heaven for a limited period of time. Maybe 700 years. 700-year visa you may get. 700 years goes very fast over there. So you may think, oh, very good, 700 means you are calculating earthly years. There you are calculating different years. The 700 years may be finished in 7 minutes. Who knows? You don't know. You may get a visa for only 7 minutes and get out from here. So he says, because of this, you will be entitled for enjoying that heaven for that limited period of time. That this particular individual doesn't lose anything. Because Sri Krishna controls all the heavens, all the places. He is the super boss of everything. So whether you say it is Kailasha, or whether it is Brahmaloka, or it is Vaikuntha, or it is Indraloka, it is Kinnar Loka, it is any Gandharva Loka, all these are heavens. And the super heaven far beyond all these heavens, there is a second divine unmanifest. We have done that in chapter 2. If you remember those things, Chapter 8. Have we come to it? No, so far. Anyway, so we have done that, and in that it was mentioned that Sri Krishna's heaven, which is called Golok Vrindavana, is higher than all the places, and every heaven and every place collapses at the time of Pralaya and goes to this particular domain. It collapses in it. Then at the start of the new yuga, all these heavens and all the gods over there, they come back again. Okay? So that is the reason why, since Sri Krishna is the ultimate deity, the ultimate God, he calls himself, I am that person, supreme person, if you remember. So if I am the supreme person, I am that supreme divine consciousness, then everything comes back to me. So I have entitlement in all the heavens. So naturally, when I have entitlement in all the heavens, anybody who is a part of my domain, that means they are following me from the Bhakti Marg position, but they have just put in a few years or a few months or whatever. So this person is entitled for enjoyment in that heaven also, whichever heaven that we are talking about. Plus, after he has finished his transaction with that heaven, which means his days are numbered over there, then he will be born again on this earth to a pious and a prosperous parents. Got it? Now we will move to the next verse. So I will take an additional 5 minutes more, so don't mind. We are doing chapter 6 of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 42. Or if he is possessed of dispassion, that not attaining to those regions, he is born in the family of enlightened yogis. But such a birth in this world is very difficult to obtain. So, now this particular person knows that Krishna's heaven is the highest. But he has not attained that heaven so far because he is still on the path of devotion. He has not yet become completely a devotee. But remember, I just gave you an example that he might have put in an X number of years in the other heaven, doing whatever other, Sankhya Yoga or Karma Yoga or something like that he has been doing. Now he should have been entitled to that heaven also, which we said in the previous verse. But Sri Krishna says, if this person rejects it, he says, I don't care about the other heavens because I don't want to go to any heaven because it's a sheer waste of my life. I want to come to serve you once again on this planet Earth. I want to become a devotee right back immediately after my death. I want to come back. So Sri Krishna says over here, for such a person who doesn't want that kind of an enjoyment in some heaven and doesn't care about it, for this kind of a person, he will immediately get birth. Immediate birth in a good family, of course. Remember the pious family that we were talking about earlier? A pious and a well-to-do, prosperous family, he will be born in the family. But this time, because he is not interested in all those other heavens, he will be born in a family where there are enlightened yogis. Now, what is this all about? The secret lies in, if I am Krishna, I want you to get the benefit of all that you might have lost because your parents are very, very well off in the path of spiritual. So you don't have to wait for many years, to get to meet your master and all that. Your education starts at childbirth only. The moment you are born, immediately you will start with those activities. So you will find that if you are born in this kind of a family where the father and the mother are already on the path of devotion, You also become a devotee from childhood. You will start taking my name right from childhood. This is one important perk that I am going to give you. So Sri Krishna says, if he is possessed of dispassion, provided, see, naturally, dispassion is a criteria. If you remember, dispassion, detachment, discrimination, 3Ds were very, very important. So if he is dispassionate, he is not at all interested in those nonsensical heavens. Please understand, those heavens are only a place of enjoyment. So he doesn't want enjoyment, remember this. So he's become dispassionate, no of enjoyments. So he says, you are now a dispassionate person and you are not interested in those heavens. You come straight to me and you say, I want to go to earth once again so that I can start serving you right from birth. So then you will be born in a family where not only are those people well off and all that, but they are also my great devotees. So such a birth in the world is very difficult to get. To be born in a family where the father and the mother are enlightened, how many people get that kind of a birth? So Khudir Ram and his wife, alright, had a son who was born enlightened. I am sure you know whom I am talking about. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa. He was already born in a family where the father and the mother were already there. They were devotees. Now you may say that he was believing in Kali. You don't understand. He was the first priest of Krishna temple. And the Kali which is there in Dakshineshwar is a Krishna Kali avatar. So he has taken birth in that kind of a beautiful family. Similarly, think in terms of all those great people who were born. But this birth is very difficult because not everybody gets it. Only entitlement is there. So let us say in this birth of all of you put together over here, if you have become a devotee of Krishna and you are on the path of devotion, and let us say you die, please do not ask for any heaven. Don't say, I want to go to this one's heaven, that one's heaven, that one's heaven, something. Don't ask. What you got to do is you have to become dispassionate. I don't care about any heavens. Krishna, I want to come and serve you once again. Give me this birth in a very good family so that I can serve you directly from childhood. So you will be given this birth in a family where the parents are also the devotees of Lord. So this is what the meaning of this verse 42 is.